Hello, 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 and welcome. Welcome to African Boxing Unmasked. Um, Today, we're going to talk about a very important topic. Um, that is actually, besides all that we spoke about, this particular topic is one of the topics that is a big, big, big factor in African boxing, and it connects to several things. It's part of doing a boxing promotions, and it's actually when it comes to the business of promotions, is the biggest thing when it comes to the promotions. I'm talking about marketing, advertising, and sponsorship. How to secure sponsorship. If we are lucky today, we're gonna have a guest with us who's going to talk about the challenges that he has faced when it comes to this aspect of promotions in Africa. Stay tuned and we'll dive right into it. All right. So welcome back. Welcome back. We're going to talk about, like I said, this is African Boxing and Max, where we talk about different aspects of African boxing and how we can elevate the game of African boxing, essentially. This is a long series. If you haven't been paying attention, this is the fourth episode. We're still talking about promotions in Africa and the different aspects of promotions. In case you've missed the previous episodes, we've spoken about the logistics about promotions. Last week we spoke about the important aspects of matchmaking. It was more about the boxes and the entire event. Today we're going to talk about a bigger topic, which is marketing, advertising, and sponsorships. What do you need to know? What do you have to know? How do you leverage these things in terms of having a promotions? And like I said earlier, we may be lucky to have a promoter who has muddied the waters over the years doing promotions in Africa. He may be joining us. It's a bit late in Ghana now. He's from Ghana, but hopefully he can join us. But I'm going to dive right into it. And I know some of these may sound very simple, but it's actually things that we don't do that have significant effects. So let's go right into it. There are different things, different factors you have to consider when it comes to marketing a promotion events. In the age of technology and social media is big, okay? And it's actually the number one factor. I have it on here. If you've been paying attention to boxing, um, almost every aspect of standardized international boxing is on social media. Hey, even the some of the sanctioning bodies, I have seen the WBC now has programs running on Facebook and other social media platforms. All the big promoters have a social media presence. If you are thinking of marketing and you are not on social media, you are doing it wrong. And believe me or not, there are promoters in Africa that do not have a social media presence, but they say they are doing boxing promotions. There are boxers in Africa that do not have social media accounts. I have spoken to some promoters here in the US, and the first thing that they have asked me is, this boxer that you are talking to me about, how many social um, media followers does he have? That's how big social media is. So if you are promoting in Africa and you are not making use of social media platforms, you are doing something terribly wrong. I'm talking about Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Now they have even Twitch. Um, there's YouTube as well. You got to create a big buzz around the event. You got to share engaging content. I mean, if you go and look at Premier Boxing Champions page right now on Facebook, they are running different aspects of the fight between Tank Davis and Martin coming up. They have short clips, they have long clips, they have interviews, they have fighter trainings, promotional videos. They are marketing the event. You cannot, and I mean you cannot, do a promotions and not have a social media presence. Some I would say that we are trying in Africa. I have seen several promoters that have several different platforms that they post on, but the truth is majority of them don't. They are sticking with the old ways of promoting events, and that doesn't work. So the number one factor is a social media presence and promotion. You have to promote your event on some of these platforms. Now, this thing actually gets this part of it gets to me because I almost routinely run into it. And that's the second factor: posters and graphics. How are you going to market your event if you have one poster out of the main event? And the posters and graphics have to be eye catching. They got to be eye catching. You got to spend time on it. I've heard promoters cry to me, "Hey, I'm not getting money for my promotions. You know, people don't want to sponsor it." What promotional material have you put out there? Is that the one with a shadow boxer, or the guy with the face like the boxer with the face like? I'm not gonna say anything, but you have to be intentional about some of these things, because what you put out there, is what is going to attract people to come on board. Later we will talk about sponsorships and somehow some of these things play effect there. So you got to create eye-catching graphics and posters. Okay, you have to be intentional about it, and it's just not one poster. You got to have posters regarding the press conference. You got to have posters regarding the weigh-in. You got to have posters regarding media workouts. You got to put quotes out there. You have to be intentional about some of these things. I feel like any promoter that I see put one poster out promoting event, I really don't think they want to do boxing. I think they just want to have a local show, and have local people come and just. I mean, we know some of the promotions in Africa are a front for other things, but if we are talking about real promotions and boxing promotions, marketing your event, you got to be intentional about some of these things. You got to create these eye-catching posters. The next thing I want to talk about when promoting an event, the press conference. The press conference. I have seen events happen where there are no press conferences. Are you kidding me? How are you getting the word out there? Let's just be real. And this information here that I'm talking about is for people. It's for people that actually want to do promotions. People that want to come to do standardized international boxing. So it may not be for everyone. How are you doing a show without a press conference? How are you generating media attention? How are you building the hype? Are you really truly trying to get sponsors to come on board, or you just want to have an event to say you've had an event? Press conference is a must. It's one of the marketing things that if you want to promote boxing, you have to consider. Okay? Now, let's talk about another aspect of essentially putting yourself out there. Public appearances. Public appearances. You got to arrange some public appearances. And even if your fighters are have the potential of being world champions, or you have to arrange for autograph signings with fighters. It's an event. Africa, we got to incorporate some of these things, because what happens is when our boxers go out there, international world, and some of these things that are being done, it's like it's like something completely new to them. What is a fighter appearance? And I got to give a shout out to Fist of Carnage. They are actually doing it the right way, and I'm not surprised because the people behind it are seasoned promoters with Alex Intiam, Box Sports, Box Office Sports Promotions, Ace Power, Aborigines, and Twin Stars. They just had their first fighters appearance yesterday, which was a big success. So if you didn't catch it, please, you can go and watch it on on our platform, KA Sports Media. We streamed it live, and also they have other events coming up. So shout out to Fist of Carnage coming up on June 15th at the Bukom Boxing Arena. June 15th on the Bukom Boxing Arena. So if you haven't been following, please, they are actually doing it right. Fight appearances. It's important. It creates the buzz. Even if it's going to bring your people, the people that would even pay the minimum amount of tickets, whether it's 30 Ghana cedis or 40 Ghana or 50 Ghana cedis, they got to know about this event. They got to create the hype. It was a success, and I believe they have another one coming up. So let me put it right here. So please, you got to go check this out. Fighters Meet and Greet number 2, featuring all the boxers again. Again, this is the Fist of Carnage event. So you got to check it out, man. They are actually doing it right. Fighter appearances build the show. It builds people's interest in it. You just don't do it without fighter appearances. Press conference, fighter appearances, very important. Again, this is for people that want to elevate the game of promotions in Africa. It's not for everyone. Some people just want to do a show to do a show. All right? So public appearances is important. Now let's talk about ticket sales. Of course, you may get sponsors, which we are going to talk about later. However, the ticket sales actually makes a difference, right? Because people come in to watch. It's also part of we are not. We're going to talk about that later. Africa is not a lot of shows in Africa, if any, are pay-per-view. Not a lot of them are on TV. So we depend on ticket sales in order to cut down cost of a promotions. So ticket sales are very important. Early birds discounts. You got to give discounts for those that buy it early. You have to do these things at the public appearances, at the press conferences. You got to talk about the tickets. You got to have tickets there to sell them. We got to elevate our game about marketing and advertising our boxing shows in Africa. Early bird discounts. You got to give it. Somebody is buying it early, give them an incentive for them to buy tickets early. We got to be real with ourselves. We are not doing pay-per-views. So please, early ticket sales, very important. We got to fill the space. That's how we cut down the cost. There are several more factors that I want to discuss quickly. But before I talk about that, I just want to say that this show is sponsored by Afro Lounge. Afro Lounge is a pub in La Palme in Accra. They actually, It's an exclusive place, so please, if you and your partner wants a place that is very quiet that you want to go enjoy yourself, Afro Lounge is the place. They are open from Thursday to Sunday. Thanks Afro Lounge for this sponsorship, but check them out. Very exclusive place. All right, all right. Let's go to the next thing I want to talk about when it comes to marketing: media outreach. And this, I can spend a little bit of time here talking about the situation in Ghana. I don't know if that is the same in other African countries. You got to reach out to the media. And when I say media, it's not just traditional radio and TV. Nowadays, social media, a lot of pages online. You have bloggers, you have boxing websites. And I can tell you that in Ghana, there are only a few boxing related pages. What I have realized is we don't promote boxing shows on some of those pages, bloggers with big following. And when I say big following, we all know them: the Code Mickeys, the Maghrebs, the Ghana pages. Nobody goes and put their boxing on there. But these people have large media followings that can actually look at your event. And of course, if you have a good product out there in terms of your promotional video, your promotional graphics, it's going to actually get people to come and witness what you are talking about. Who is this fighter? Who is mean faced like that? Who said he's going to respect his opponent outside the ring, but he's going to kill him inside the ring? They want to know this. Shout out to Bullet and Show Love. They really put on a show yesterday, the public appearances. So we got to stop using just traditional media. TV and radio alone is not the way to do it. Bloggers online, boxing websites. Shout out to Donu's Corner and everybody else in Ghana trying to put Ghana boxing out there. Very important. You got to reach out to the media. Now, this next part is similar to reaching out there, but I don't see we are doing it a lot. I got to give shout out to Osibo Promotions. He also has a show coming up on July 5th in Ghana. I'm talking about influencer marketing. You got to partner with influencers. And they don't just have to be in the boxing or sports industry. And I bring up Osipo because I recently saw a video of Dr. Laiki. Dr. Laiki, for those that don't know, is a comedian in Ghana, very popular in Ghana. And he had a video with one of Osipo's boxers, Nyantechi, promoting the fight that is coming up. We got to make use of our influencers. I don't think a lot of people, talking about my Ghanaians, I don't think any of us will object to, or I'm not going to say it, but I don't think anyone will object to Hajia Bintu with, what do you call it? Title belts on him promoting the Fist of Carnage. Please, if you have any comments, please share. It's a conversation. We are teaching, but we are also conversating. So I don't think we will oppose to influencers promoting shows. We got to do it. We have them in Ghana. They do it. Look at who is fighting now as a professional, Jake Paul. How did Jake Paul come about? He was a social media influencer. Jake Paul has signed contract with USA Boxing, promoting their amateur team. Who is promoting any amateur team in Ghana right now? Which social media personality? We cannot be doing the same thing and expecting different results. We are in the age of technology. We are in the age of social media. We got to make use of influencers. That's what we call influencer marketing. All right. This next part is very dear to me. And I'm going to take a break before we come to that. It's live streaming. Live streaming your events. There's a reason for this and several reasons for that. we got to consider streaming our events in Africa. It's part of marketing, even if it's not for that particular event, for your future event, it's part of marketing. People, okay, I already got into it. I said I'm gonna I'm gonna talk about it later when we return. Again, this show is sponsored by Afro Lounge. Check them out at La Palm. Thank you, Afro Lounge. We got to take a quick break and then we'll come back to live streaming. All right, welcome back. So, I was for those of you that have just joined us, we're talking about promotions in Africa, boxing promotions to be specific. We are talking about marketing, advertising, and then later we're going to talk about the sponsorships. And again, if we are lucky, we should have Alex and Tiamwa on here to talk about how the challenges in seeking sponsorships in Africa, in boxing specifically, and how he has been able to navigate the system. I know he's busy trying to do the show that's coming up, The Fist of Carnage. And so he may still be planning on sleeping early. It's a bit late in Africa. And yes, if you don't know about The Fist of Carnage, it's coming up. The media workout will be this Sunday uh, at the West Hills Mall. This Sunday at the West Hills Mall. You got to be there 3 p.m. Those two guys out there, Michael Bullets, One Bullet and Son and Derek Show, Love Quay will be there. You know, they sell a show. Of course, Holy is also going to be there. Some more Quay, Daniel Quay, some more Martin, a few other guys will be there at the media workout. Fist of Carnage, June 15th at the Bucons Boxing Arena. You got to check them out on their media workout at the West Hill Mall. And then following that, they are also going to have a press conference on Thursday, June 13th at 11 a.m. at the Bucon Boxing Arena. June 13th, 11 a.m. at the Bucon Boxing Arena. They are really, we got to give it to these four outfits. They are promoting the show. They are doing it like it's supposed to be done. And we got to give them kudos for that. And of course, the weigh-in will be on the Friday before the fight, the 14th. So we are inviting everyone to come out. This is going to be a big show. This is going to be a great show. Kudos to the four promoters. Let's get back. Let's get back to our show. All right. So I was talking about marketing and advertising, and the last thing I wanted to talk about before we jump into our next subject is live streaming. We do a lot of shows in Africa that we don't even put it out. We just record it for box rec purposes, and then we expect that somehow we our people know about us, people know and patronize our shows. Live streaming is very important, especially now that we don't have pay-per-view, but this is a step. It's a step to pay-per-view. And for promoters listening or anybody who is interested in promotion listening, live streaming right now is going to be a step. Can I? I'm being told my sound is not good. Can you guys hear me? Anybody let me know? Okay. So so I was talking about live streaming, the importance of live streaming. Now that we don't have pay-per-view, we don't have TV rights in Africa. I could spend all night talking about TV rights. But TV rights is actually what gives us respect. That gives us the leverage when we are seeking sponsorships. I'll tell you, South Africa right now has TV rights when they are doing their boxing. It comes with a lot of benefits. Even the sanctioning bodies, because they know you're going to do the show well, because you have sponsorships, you have TV rights, they actually give some discounts in their fees. You wouldn't know this if you don't follow boxing and you don't know the back end of things. If you do a title belt of one of the big sanctioning bodies in Africa and in Ghana, one of the big sanctioning bodies, and you are doing a show in Ghana, sometimes it's really hard to ask for a discount because they don't know what you are bringing and how often you are going to do this. So they have no incentive to give us discounts. They have no incentive to give us money. South Africa does get discounts from some of the sanctioning bodies because they have TV rights, they have great sponsorships, so that we know that they are going to put on a good show, a good production. Boxing promotion, a boxing event is a production. Live streaming is important. Everybody knows now. There's again those same platforms I spoke about earlier: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. You can live stream there. Connect with a media house, an online media company like KA Sports Boxing. We have a a streaming team. We have a crew. We have the equipment that will come stream your shows for you. You may not, and even if you really want, you can do it as a paid event on Facebook. A paid event on Facebook. Think about live streaming and think about the production. That's how you put your promotions out there. We are not putting our products out there, and for some reason, we expect magic to happen. My brothers, my sisters, promoters, matchmakers, all stakeholders, we got to put our product out there, and we got to think about it. Live streaming is important. Live streaming is important. Very soon, we'll get the CEO of Box Office Promotions on there talk about sponsorships, and I think I already spoke about his event coming up with other promoters. They are really doing well on the marketing and advertising aspect, the promotion aspect of the event. But live streaming was the last factor I want to talk about in terms of marketing and advertising. And with the same things that I have spoken about, sponsorship. When you are marketing, you got to consider your sponsors. You got to give them something to come on board. And it all depends on how you are going to promote the event. Why should Ash Foam come on board? Why should Afro Lunch come on board? Who is going to know about their product? Who is going to see their product? Where are you putting them? So you can't just have one poster. We can't have one poster that is not going anywhere, not being disseminated everywhere, and expect them. If a true sponsor wants to come on, they want to know what you are doing with it. Are you putting them in your ring canvas? Are you putting them in your ring corner? Sponsorship is very important. And so we're going to talk about that. I have quite a lot of things I want to talk about sponsorship, but I got to bring on the CEO of Box Office, Mr. Alex Ntiamwa Boateng, who is joining us here. We're going to talk about some of the struggles in seeking sponsorships in Africa, and how he has been able to navigate that. It's not easy to get in sponsorships. I speak to promoters all the time. Could it be that we are not doing the marketing well, the advertising well? We are not selling our product to them very well. Is that what it is? But I'll bring him on. Welcome, Mr. Alex Intiamwabuachi.
Thank you very much, Doc.
All right. So, Alex, before we go into why I really have you here, I know you've been doing boxing for a while. Your box office sports promotions has been in the boxing business for some time now. You are very respected because you've stayed in the game for so long. But I can imagine that, and you are even still doing it, I should say. Next week, you have a big event coming up. Yesterday, you had a big public fighters appearances. I was very happy about that. I've been talking about that um, on this show throughout today. But I'm pretty sure you've had some challenges trying to seek sponsors, trying to get TV rights. If I may ask you, how has it been for you? How have you been able to put on shows consistently in Ghana? Do you have a lot of sponsors? Of course, I don't want you to give all your secrets out, but share with our African community, those that do boxing, how you have been able to stay consistent doing boxing, knowing very well how hard it is to come by sponsors.
Doc, thank you very much. It has not been easy from the start, and even now, it's not easy. But first and foremost, the first quality that you need to be as a promoter to be able to be consistent and to still continue, no matter how hard it is to have the passion for the sport. If you have passion for the sport, that is the only motivation that can keep you, especially in Africa, to do promotions. Actually, coming from a community where boxing is the predominant sport, and I had a lot of friends who were boxers by then, and I saw them in the gyms training without getting fights, and I say, why not I get into boxing promotions in order to help my people? So first and foremost, it's about helping someone. So it's about out there. I grew the love for the sport out of passion, and so that is the number one motivation that motivates me. And also, I believe in future that boxing in Ghana has a future, and I believe I'll be able to hit some big sponsors and some TV rights, and that has been my motivation all the time. So it has not been easy for me to go by with my promotions to be in with consistent promotions. Most of the time, the resources or the funding that I used to do the promotions comes from my own savings or budget because I have a side also. I do a small estate business like buying and selling. Some of the properties that I engaged, most of the time they don't have good documentation. And my expertise is helping them getting the good documentation and then either rent it out or sell. And that is why I get most of my budget for my fights. And like I said, it's out of passion, and I believe in the future that if we are able to build the industry, not just to do promotions, but the total boxing industry, whereby you have some good boxers in the system, you have promoters in the system, running it in the way that corporate Ghana will believe in. That is where you can be able to leverage on to win for big sponsorship. But in as much as I do with my own savings, occasionally I get sponsors to come on board. But boxing when it comes to budget is very, very, very huge. And in Africa, we don't have multinational companies coming on board to support boxing. They, they have been brainwashed to support football and other things. And sometimes These multinational companies, when you go to them, they will tell you that they have their mother companies. Their mother companies have their um, activities that they want to do with their sponsorship or their marketing funding, and boxing might not be part of it. So it's very very hard to come by. But with small business, we are able to navigate through and get some of them to come on board. So basically, that is how I'm able to go through and being consistent promotions. Yeah.
Okay, I mean, it's hard, and I know this. You know, I know it to be coming out of pocket using your other incomes that you earn to put into boxing. And for some of the people that do promotions like yourself, if the passion is not number one, you're gonna quit after a year or two because there's a lot of money to do this work. But besides, particularly getting maybe money from them. Are there other ways, other strategies that we can work with companies and businesses in order to decrease the burden of doing a promotions company? If there are other things you can leverage in terms of equipment or other things, is there what other strategies have you used in the past that may have worked for you?
The, like I said, sometimes um, we don't have these corporate organization coming on board to support boxing, but when they hear about local rivalry fight, which is trending in the media and all that stuff, they want to be part of it. I quite remember when I had Bukom Banko and IT Power side. Within the boxing cycles, within the traditional boxing communities, people were anticipating for that big fight coming up. And it's something that a lot of people were discussing all over. But
Hmm.
corporate Ghana didn't believe in that event. I went to a lot of sponsors to support, but I couldn't get enough sponsorship to pay off the bills or the funding for the event. But at the end of the day, though I got some two TVs coming on board, they were not um, like other TVs elsewhere where they have to pay for rights to take the feed and all that stuff or do the production and then broadcast. It was more or less like a happy hand that they are giving you when you talk to them. They will say, "Oh, we don't have budget for it, but we want to support so that the project can see the light of the day." So basically, if you have nothing and somebody is bringing something small to you, you take it. So basically, that is where I thought it makes sense for me to get that partnership. But it was just production and then broadcasting that they did without giving me any upfront money to pay for certain bills. So it's very, very hard to come by. But at the end of the day, there are other people that you can work with on this event that I have coming up. We have cartel group of companies. They are also into events, cartel events. They do rentals of chassis, lighting, sound, and other event equipment or logistics. They are into it. So we are in partnership. Sometimes not totally 100% sponsorship with their logistics or products, but you can take care of the labor and the transportation cost so that at the end of the day they can also bring on board what they have to enjoy as a sponsor. So it's the best way that at least we can do and do better. So that is what I believe.
Well, Alex makes a very good point. I know I won't be wasting his time. After Alex gets off, we're going to talk a little bit more about it, incorporating some of the things that he has said. Sometimes it's not just particular money. So he speaks about cartel groups of companies. They're able to provide something that can also help cut down the cost. So there are different ways it sounds like that you can do it. But it sounds like in Africa, they are just the companies are just not coming, whether it's money or giving you something to support the show. But Alex, you speak about something that is very important. TV rights. TV rights is a big deal when it comes to boxing, especially outside Africa. In Africa, I know that there are TV rights in South Africa. I don't know if there are other African countries that have it. We we don't have TV rights in the majority of Africa. There is nothing like TV rights. What has been your experience? I mean, if not, I'm going to guess and say you've been in Ghana boxing or boxing for maybe 20 years, if not more. I'm pretty sure you have tried to get rights when it comes to TV. Are TV companies interested in buying, paying for the show, or how do usually TV people come on board? Because we see shows on GTV Plus, on IMAX, other TV stations in the past, Metro TV. How are these things done, and what's the problem with getting TV rights in Africa and
You
boxing?
know, like you said, um, over the years, TV or broadcasting companies as uh, most of the time they have worked with soccer
Mm-hmm,
or the football association in terms of pushing for marketing TV rights and all that stuff. But when
mm-hmm,
it comes to boxing, they have not explored that angle enough. It seems like some of the people that make decision in the corporate world, because
mm-hmm,
when the TV company want to take the right of an event,
mm-hmm,
he will be looking at the market where he can sell the event for people to come on board to buy commercial slots, and that is they want to go with comfortable thing that it's easy for them to sell. But boxing is one thing that can give a lot of things or a leverage or mileage that a sponsor can enjoy than any other sport comparably. Because let's see, for boxing, you can have public appearance whereby it will be a platform for a sponsor to market its products to different kind of people. At the same time, there can be public workouts, there can be media workouts in their gyms.
mm-hmm.
There can be 247 videos about boxers, you know, behind the scenes, what they do and all that stuff. And some of the sports, other sports, has not got any of these things. So I think when it comes to mileage, boxing can offer very good mileage to sponsors, but it seems like it has not been explored good. And so my vision is to keep on doing it. And whilst I search for people that will buy into the idea, put up a good proposal for them to run, like, let's see if we are able to break some deal. And sometimes there are certain business politics or corporate politics. There was a time that I engaged with Supersport,
Mm-hmm.
the mother company, which is DSTV in Ghana.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We had wanted to do something like GH Fight Night, of which
Mm-hmm.
they bought into that idea. I even had a meeting with the head of uh, legal and acquisition
Mm-hmm.
of DSTV. He was based in South Africa. We
Mm-hmm.
had a initially we had a meeting of the chief executive himself first, Andrew Venter, and then later on the head of legal and acquisition, which is Brandon Foot. We had that discussions at a
Mm-hmm.
point that we nearly got a deal for Ghana boxing to be funded with some TV rights money to get some of the good fights here in Ghana to be broadcast on SuperSport. But like I said, corporate politics, the people in when it comes to DSTV in West Africa, The headquarters is in Nigeria, and we have a lot of Nigeria investors who have invested into DSTV.
Hmm.
And when it comes to subscription wise, Nigeria has got the biggest market in terms of the subscription of DSTV channels
Hmm.
in Africa, apart from Nigeria and then South Africa. So basically, it seems like Ghana has not got the subscribers and all that stuff. So why should a budget go to Ghana for its boxing to grow? So with all these things, and I think that is the reason why they started this uh, Go TV fight night and all that stuff. You know. So basically, that is what I'm saying. But I believe we can
Hmm.
come together, like South Africa, Nigeria,
Hmm.
Kenya, and all that stuff coming together. Maybe like five promoters coming together. We have maybe Fight Night Africa, whereby we can get all the good fights from Africa. Maybe we get from Ghana, we get like four slots. Nigeria gets four slots. Uh, South Africa and others. So at least almost every weekend there is a boxing going on. So when I have my show, or maybe we have a show from Ghana, from any promoter that the network will want to work with, today, maybe this weekend,
I think we lost Alex there, but he was talking about a very important aspect here in terms of promoting African boxing. Can you imagine just like the 5v5 they just had, if we had different countries, just like we do for the amateur teams, but more professional? If different countries come together and do consistently do shows and have a TV network like ESPN or some other TV buy it, we're going to make a lot of money. I don't know whether Africans can get together to do that. We know we've had issues in the past doing things together. So, but he was really making a good point. Hopefully, we have him back so that he give us his final word. But I said we were going to talk about sponsorships, specifically what you need to do. Alex was sharing his experiences with sponsorships. How do you get a sponsorship? Where do you start from? You got to first identify your potential sponsors. You got to look for companies that may align with the sport of boxing or just sports in general, and then the audience. Okay, and you have to give them, like I was saying earlier, a reason to come on board. Who is going to be your audience? Who is going to watch? For example, if you keep doing local shows in Accra, you cannot expect a company based in Kumasi to come and advertise on your platform. It will be meaningless to them. So you got to think of how you are promoting the show, where you are doing it, and also the type of audience, because that's the only reason why companies will come on board. And there are some specific companies when it comes to boxing that you have to target. When I talk about specific companies, group of companies, you have to look for companies that, for example, do sports gear, so sports attires, because boxing is a sport, right? Or energy drink companies. It has to fitness companies or fitness equipment. Those specific gyms in Ghana, there are a lot of gyms now. Um, I think we got Alex back. I would add him so that he gives us his final word. But on this part of identifying a potential sponsor, it has to align with the company's goals. So, fitness gyms, fitness equipment companies, local business companies where you are having your event, apparel companies, energy drink companies. You have to first identify your potential sponsors. And we're going to continue. I'll get Alex on to give us his final word on what we were talking about. Alex, I know you have a show coming up. It's a bit late in Ghana now, almost 10 p.m. Can you tell us a little bit about the show coming up and what people watching this should look forward to? What are some of the events coming, and and then the ticketing aspect, how they can buy tickets and all that good stuff.
Okay, thank you very much, Doc. We have the Feast of Carnage, which is a collaboration of four promoters: Box Office, Sports Promotions, East Power Promotions, Aborigines, and Finstar. Actually, you need to draw your strength and bring it together, converge the strength, and then you can be able to put something big out there. Each and every promoter on this event has got some good card that we need to bring it together for the boxing lovers across Africa to be able to watch it. A local rivalry fight which is very much anticipated by boxing fans across Ghana and Africa. We have Michael, aka One Bullet, and Michael Ansa, aka One Bullet, who has been challenged by a young an up and coming boxer by name Derukui, also known as Shulo. It's something that within the circles of the boxing, traditional boxing communities within Ghana and beyond, they want to see that fight happen. And it's been a very, very hard time to get this fight coming to fruition. By God's grace, we have been able to pen something down, and the boxers are ready. They are prepared for it. And the fight is coming up on 15th of June at the Bukum Boxing Arena. We have Oli Dogoto, who is also trying to put up his campaign for a world title shot, and is taking a step-by-step approach by uh, contending against Amadi Furahisha from Tanzania. It's gonna be IBF Continental African Championship at the featherweight. So this is the main bout, Michael and Sam versus Derek Quick is something that is going to be very super. We're going to see skill, power, and all that stuff on that night. Also, we have the national championship for the Spotlight, the Italian national championship at the Spotlight between Samuel Quay against Daniel Quay. Is the Battle of the Peace. So that is one fight that a lot of fans want to see. We have Abubakar Mubarak also taking on Okan on the night. So basically, it's going to be a very good card on the night, and I believe it will be live on PA Sports on that night. We have other activities coming up. Coming up, we have the media workout, which is going to happen at West Hill Malls on the June night, Sunday, June night at 3 p.m. And then on Tuesday, we have another public appearance for the boxes happening at the Choco, and then we have a press conference on Wednesday, which is the 13th, at the Modo Conference or within the boxing arena. And then the 14th will be the win, and then the 15th, the fight night. So it's a lot of activities. Just imagine all these activities as a corporate sponsor coming on board, the leverage that you are going to get, and then the mileage that you are going to get for your brands. So that is all I have for our audience or our viewers this evening.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ntianwa Boachi, for joining us and also talking about some of your the struggles you faced as a promoter, but still the passion still burning through. You're still going, and for everyone, it's going to be a big show. He's talked about all the events. June 15th next weekend, Bukom Boxing Arena. Watch out! Be part of all the week fight activities. He already spoke about them, so I'm not going to go through. But thank you very much, Alex. Catch some sleep. We'll talk later.
Thank you too.
All right. All right, guys. So we're going to continue the conversation. I'm going to make it very quick. There were some pointers. I cannot leave without giving the information about sponsorships. I less spoke about some of it. Leveraging. Not everybody can give you money, but somebody can give you lights. Somebody can also give you trussels. Somebody can sew your ring canvas for you for free. Somebody can give you gloves. So there are different ways you can seek sponsorships. It must not always be about money. You can even talk to the Ghana police or the military that, hey, we're gonna mention you or do whatever. So give us free barricades. There are different ways you can seek sponsorships, but the most important thing is that sponsorships, marketing, marketing and sponsorship has to be well thought out. It cannot just be done on the whim. Okay, it has to be. You have to have a well planned marketing strategy and seeking sponsorship. That is the key to success. You cannot do it half half. Otherwise, today you are doing this, another day your main event boxer is hurt. You are worried about that. You have to plan it out, have people in place doing some of this work. You cannot be a one. If you want to do boxing right, it cannot be a one-man run show. It has to be well planned out. Okay. So I was talking about how to identify your potential sponsors. You have to have a sponsorship proposal. You have to have a detailed sponsorship proposal that outlines the event, who the target audience is. You cannot have a company in Kumasi sponsoring a local show that will not be broadcast nationwide. Okay? And then you have to give them the benefits of sponsoring. You have to be specific. How many people are you expecting in attendance? I'm giving all the gems today. You have to give them the expected attendance. Oh, there will be 2,000 people there that will have their eyes on on your brand on the day of the event. But we are showing it to over 500,000 people outside of Ghana. So if you're an international company like Tap Send, that have a lot of people outside Ghana sending money home, they need that international audience. So you have to sell it to them. You have to tell them about media coverage, because putting it on a small TV that doesn't go nationally will not, compared to a TV that goes nationally, will make a sponsor decide to come on board or not. So you have to tell them how you are going to cover the media. Are they going to get mentioned in newspapers? Are they going to get mentioned? Are they going to get mentioned on radio? You have to give all of that information, and then any promotional opportunities as well. For example, are they going to be on the? Is their logo going to be on the canvas? Is their logo going to be on the corner pad? Is their logo going to be on the ring ropes? These are all the different places that they can be, that you can promote them. So you got to give them this info for them to come out. You cannot just go and be like, "Oh, I'm doing an event. Come and give me money or come give me equipment." You have to give them a reason to come on board. Very important. And you have to be specific about it. It has to be detailed and you have to be specific about it. Sponsorship is important, but you cannot do it just doing it like that. Okay? And when I say come out with proposals, what do I mean by that? They have to be sponsorship packages. Packages. Okay? So you have to have different sponsorship levels. And I know this because some of you may know I have done promotions. I do promotions. We have done this. You have to do have sponsorship levels: platinum, gold, silver, diamond, with different benefits. What comes with what? Is a platinum going to get their canvas, their logo in the canvas, which is on TV all the time, on streaming all the time, or they cannot afford that, so they will pay you silver to have a corner pad. You have to have levels, okay? Are their names, logos going to be on the VIP tickets, the big boys, the tickets that the big boys are going to have? Is their logo going to be on it? Are they going to be in the minds of the big boys? Are they going to be mentioned in press releases? All of these things go into your package levels, your sponsorship package levels. You have to have it down. You cannot go to Ash Foam and be like, come sponsor me, without a business plan, without a sponsorship proposal. And I go back to leveraging relationships and networking. Very important. Not everything is just money or equipment or whatever. Utilize your existing contacts and network. As a promoter, you got to know some matchmakers. You got to know other promoters. When Ace Power Promotions is doing an event, and we know Box Office Sports has a good relationship with this guy that gives lights. Hey, Alex, can you talk to your lights guy if they can sponsor or give us a discount? You have to leverage on your relationships. Boxing promotions, if you want to do it the right way, it's not an individual event. It's not an individual business. Yeah, you may be the CEO, you may have your company, but if you really want to do it, hey, Kabik, I want to use your event, Hydrowhite Event Center. I know you work with Hydrowhite. Can you talk to them? Shingles, can you talk to them? Jingles, can you talk to them? Can we get a discount? We want to do a show there. You got to leverage on your relationships and networking. Sports clubs, gyms. Can you go and shoot a video or event at this particular gym? Hey, Carloco, your gym is nice. Hey, Charles Corte, your gym is nice. Can we come and shoot a promo video there? Hey, the gym, Mr. Dama, your gym has all these flags. We want flags. Can we come and shoot there for our promo event? You got to leverage on your relationships and networks. You got to connect on your industries. Okay? Hey, Alex, I saw that someone you worked with Ashform before. Do they have room to support another promoter? The infighting, which I'll just spend a minute there. The infighting in African boxing and Ghana boxing is just too much that we don't want to leverage on our relationships. We got to be real with ourselves. Somebody cannot even call Alex in Tiamoa because they have an issue with him. Somebody cannot call another promoter. Who do I? Twin Stars, because they have. I can give you all the gems today, but if your relationships are not tight, you cannot do it. I know a promoter that has full trussels and a ring, but another promoter cannot even go and borrow it or lend it or get a discount on it because they don't have a good relationship. Come on, man. You got to leverage on your relationships and networking. Very important if you want to do this right, the right way. Now, you may have your proposal, you may have your company. How do you reach out and pitch it? You know, human beings and companies who sometimes are acting like individuals like that personalized stuff. Okay? You got to write a letter, personalize it to the Ashform group of companies, to Cartel group of companies, to Twin Stars Boxing Promotions. I'm going to have my event. I would want you to sponsor this. Attaches our packages, blah, 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 blah. You have to personalize your pitches to the companies and then highlight the unique aspect of your event and what they are getting out of it. How is your event different from the one Quebec is doing? How is the Fist of Carnage different from another event? You have to show your unique aspects. Why shouldn't they? Why should what's this water company who once may have sponsored us? Why should Agbeve Hospital give their money to Ace Power instead of giving it to Box Office Sports Promotion? You have to set yourself apart. Now, companies, just like individuals, are very busy. They are very busy, and I can attest to that. I've been. I'm not going to put my business information out there, but there are some companies you have to call them, follow up with emails, phone calls. Hey, what about the meeting that we discussed? Can we do a follow-up meetings? This is a business. You cannot be joking around with it. If you want to do this seriously, follow-up meetings, make calls, send emails. You are the one that need them. They may not need you. Okay. Now, while you are doing this, pitching to them, you have to showcase your past success. You have to showcase your past success in the industry. So, what shows have you done? Show footages. Show them the branding that you did, similar things that they are going to get. Okay, show them what you have done in the past. That is why every event is unique. Every event is important. You do it right because it may be the launching pad to other successful events. It may be what you will show a company for them to come on board. So don't do some 2x4 shows, put your name on it, and then because when you go to Ash Foam, you go to Cartel Group of Companies, they will ask you, "What have you done in the past? What are we getting?" and then you show them a video of your past event, and in the ring you have half light that even the logos are not showing. Come on, it's a business. If you treat promotion, your boxing promotions as a business, it's going to excuse me, it's going to pay off. If you treat it as a hobby, it's going to pay off as a hobby. It's a big investment. And I know many of us in Africa do boxing for different reasons, which is okay. But if you want to do it the right way, you want to do boxing promotions, you got to do it the right way. So you have to show your past successes. Some company may even ask if they are giving you money. I remember one time Ace Power Promotions approached somebody and they were willing to shell out 200,000 Ghana cedis back then. And they asked in your past events, how much did you make? How much did you make? Meaning that, are you a successful business or not? That they want to attach themselves to you. And of course, there are different ways you can describe and put out your return on investment. It's not always on the dollar or CD figure or whatever. It's not always about the money. There are different ways to show your success. So you have to just know the language, and sometimes it's you have to just know what you are doing and how to talk. And I got to give a shout out to Ace Power Promotions manager here, Isaac Amankwa. For those of you that knows Isaac, he knows how to talk, and he has broken some barriers for the company. So you have to have somebody who knows what they are saying, because they actually on your return on investment for your company, you got to be able to show it. Oh, boxing is not profitable in Ghana, blah blah blah. Why would they come on board if you are not doing it and you are not getting anything out of it? All right, I have 5 minutes. I'm going to speak a little bit fast. Still on sponsorship, you got to make you utilize social media and digital channels. Again, you have to tell them you are promoting your event. You are promoting it very well. You are going to put it on some place like K-Box TV. K-Box TV has over 500,000 followers. 500,000 followers of both domestic, Ghana, Africa, and international. So if you tell them that, hey, my show is going to be shown on K-Box TV, which has 500,000 followers, they know they are going to get eyeballs on their logo. They are going to get eyeballs when their company is mentioned. The people are going to hear it, at least 500,000 people. But if you are showing it to you are proposing it to a local company, they may not be interested in a platform like K-Box, right? Because K-Box is big and international. But they may be interested in a place like Donu's Corner, which is mostly followed by the local and African people. So you got to pick the platforms and use them. Okay? K Sports Boxing is also there. We do that too. And some of you may know K Sports Boxing is a collaboration from two big social media boxing platforms. So you can sell your promotions or your event using K Sports Boxing, knowing that they are going to get both local, continental, and international eyeballs. So as a promoter, choose your media platforms wisely. And then, of course, Lastly, you want to build a long-term relationship. This happens oftentimes, and I have seen it with some promoters in Africa. I've seen it with the promotions I'm associated with, where you get a sponsorship, but it's usually they don't come back. Why is that? So even at your first initial meetings with sponsors, you have to make sure you are creating long-term partnership with these sponsors, and you have to deliver on your promises. Yes, boxing in Africa sometimes is very hard for you to deliver on your promises, but you have to how do I say it? Establish your relationship in a way that it gives you long rope, even if you don't deliver on your promises. There are ways to do that. Language matters. Okay, La Palm Royal Beach Hotel. Can you give us a discount for us to host our events there? As you may know, boxing right now is not big in the eyes of a lot of Ghanaians, but we've paved the way. We've done it before in these places. We were successful, and we think we can match the same thing here at La Palm. But because it's a different venue, we may not match the same success, but we are that we've had in other places. But we are going to put similar practices, similar things in place to have the same thing. So maybe our first event may not be as successful as what we have enjoyed when we did it at Bukom Boxing Arena. But we know that continuously it will happen at least by our third event. It's just putting that language down. Yes, they are expecting success, but at least you've paved the way and you've put your language in a way that they know the first show might not sell like how you sold when you did it at Bukum Boxing Arena. I'm giving you all the gems today if you are serious about boxing promotion. So your first meetings, you got to build long-term relationship. Okay? You have to show them also how you measure success. We are time past, but this is a very important aspect that I had to talk about in terms of promotions, boxing promotions in Africa. We are still on it. This is African Boxing Unmasked. This is where we speak about how we can improve African boxing. We speak about our challenges, our struggles, the things that we can do right. Sometimes we criticize, but we criticize to elevate, we criticize to educate. So you got to stay tuned. We are almost done. I didn't say we are done with the promotions aspect, but we still have management to talk about. We still have administration to talk about. When I talk about administration, I'm talking about sanctioning bodies. I'm talking about refereeing, judges, all the good stuff, the doctors. We have a lot to do in African boxing, and we're going to be doing it, educating right here on KA Sports Boxing. But until next week, when I see you, actually next week, we are going to postpone the show next week because we are the main media partner for the Fist of Carnage. So we're going to be busy. All of us at K Sports Boxing, the presenters, the crew, we are going to be busy, and we are going to be showing the events live on here. So we will not be doing the our regular shows. So please pardon us. So probably next 2 weeks we will come back to African Boxing Unmasked. We're going to talk about the last aspects of promotions. Um, but you got to watch to find out. We've given out all the gems about marketing, event planning, all the good stuff, sponsorships. I'm sure if you're a promoter and you watch today, you're getting some notes on how to move forward. Um, but stay tuned. Again, we got June 15th coming up. Fist of Carnage. Fist of Carnage. KA Sports Boxing is the main media partner, so we got to promote it. As Mr. Ntiamwa said, they have another public appearance coming on June 11th. But before that, public workout is on Sunday at West Hills Mall, and then the public appearance number 2 in Choco on June 11th, and then the press conference on June 13th at the Bukom Boxing Arena, Muda Hall, and then weigh in, and then the fight night. We're going to bring you all the exclusives, all the fight events here on KH Sports Boxing. If you're a promoter, if you know a promoter who wants to do boxing right, have them contact KH Sports Boxing, because we are the media company that's going to put you out there. And now, when I say out there, we're talking about almost half a million, more than half a million eyeballs are going to have your event, eyes on your event. There's no better place than that. Okay, so media. The next appearance will be next week, as I said. We have the media workout for June 15th coming up at the West Hills Malls. And then the press conference. This is going to be a great press conference. If you have seen one Bullet and Show Love do their thing, you know it's going to be fire. And Holy Dokotel's opponent, Samuel Mate's opponent, will be in Ghana from Tanzania by then. So it should be a good show off. And then, of course, the national title with Samuel Kwe and Daniel Kwe. And then, hey, Michael Papo and Ezekiel Ansan will also be there. We have other foreigners also coming for the show. Landman from Israel will be taking on Ghanaian Latte. And then you have Mensa and Alote also fighting. Guys, Africanus will also be there. Africanus Nikwe, the budding prospect coming from the stable of Streetwise Management. You don't want to miss all these fight activities. It's going to be popping on KA Sports, okay? The weigh-in is going to be very important, so please make sure you join. Fist of Carnage, brought to you by Box Office Sports Promotions, Ace Power Promotions, Twin Stars Boxing Promotions, and Aborigines Promotions. We got to do this often in Ghana, man. We got to come together. We got to come together and do shows like this. The best got to fight the best. We got to have international fights, African, the continental fights. Let's stop fighting gym buddies. That's all I got to say. All right. If you just join us, this show brought to you by Afro Lounge. Afro Lounge. Afro Lounge is a pub in La Palm, La Palm in Ghana. Please check them out. Take your sweetheart there. Take your girlfriend there, your boyfriend there, your husband, your wife there. Exclusive place. Go enjoy. Nobody gets to hear of you. Nobody gets to see you. Until next 2 weeks, I'm the Boxing Doc, and this is KA Sports Boxing, African Boxing I Must. Love you all. See you in 2 weeks.